Hello again. The next keyboard percussion instrument are the crotales. Crotales are tuned brass discs, approximately 3 to 5 inches in diameter. They come in single octave sets, a low octave, and a high octave. As you see on the range chart, the range is 2 octaves above written pitch. So the highest crotale, same as the highest glockenspiel note, same as the highest xylophone note, is also the same as the highest piano note. 8 ledger lines above the treble staff. The lowest crotale is already sounding above the treble staff. Therefore, it transposes 2 octaves above written pitch. So this is written middle C, this is written 2 ledger lines, and the instrument sounds 2 octaves higher. There's a company in Europe that makes a bass octave, goes down an octave lower. They're almost never used. I've only seen them used twice in very ultra contemporary scores. They're huge, and they can't be played with the same mallets. So you'll never run into that, but they do exist. The mallets, however, because the instrument is made of brass, which is a soft metal, the crotales cannot be played with brass mallets the way you can with a glockenspiel. Always with a hard plastic mallet. They're played right on the edge. If you play in from the edge, you don't get much ring. You get more clunk and less ring. They can, however, be played with triangle beaters for a very light, delicate sound. And they can also be played with a bass bow. I'll demonstrate more with the bass bow in a couple of weeks, but these are used a great deal. Very eerie, haunting sound with the bow. Another very interesting effect that you can do with the crotales is to put one onto the timpani and pedal the timpani after you strike the crotale. Isn't that a cool effect? A lot of schools don't own crotales. They're not incredibly expensive. They're about $1,000, $1,500 per octave. You can buy individual crotales. You do have to be careful, however. If you hit them too hard, they can dent and either go dead or go out of tune. You can already hear that they're a little bit out of tune. You can hear a difference between the two C's, and that just comes with the territory. But you can replace them individually if necessary. I set them up as you see piggyback, the low octave closer to me than the high octave. If I spread them out, they would be very, very wide. They would be very difficult to play. So I set them up one right above the other. As I said, they're played with plastic mallets primarily. Because of the ring of them, they're not used very often melodically because the ring kind of gets in the way. They're used rather as more of a melodic reinforcement. They do single notes, and I can muffle with my hands. Or legato muffling the way we did on the timpani or the vibraphone. Muffling one when you strike the other. That's a very commonly used technique. If your school doesn't own crotales, you can substitute a glockenspiel, but the glockenspiel is a much purer tone quality than the crotales. It doesn't have the shimmer that the sound of the crotale has. So it's an acceptable substitute, but not perfect. So the important things are the mallets, to really remember nothing harder than plastic on the crotales, and the transposition, that they sound 2 octaves higher than written pitch. So this is written middle C, sounds 2 ledger lines. Written 2 ledger lines sounds 8 ledger lines. Those are the crucial aspects of the crotales. Next, we'll talk about the chime.